Hi everyone. Hi everyone. It's your girl Winn here. Happy Friday. Joining in with the Inner Circle podcast. Um, we're kind of not on our usual time like that we're always on, but that's okay. It's Fridays, it's free flow, anything can go. All right, first of all, I want to welcome you all to the Inner Circle podcast tonight. You know how we do it on Fridays. Fridays is just we just meet and chat. So my co-host should be joining shortly. It's me and your girl Patience that'll be joining the party tonight. So again, we have a question. Um we have something that we want to talk about tonight. So please, you know the rules. You know how we engage. Engage in the comments. Share the video. Like just invite someone. Let's have a conversation tonight. And tonight we have a burning question. We would just let my co-host come, and she will introduce herself. But we want to say happy Friday. Welcome to the Inner Circle podcast. We're here Monday through Friday. Each day of the week there's different segments that is happening. I think Monday is entertainment, Tuesday is something else, Wednesday is business, Thursday is something else, and then Friday you get to see me and Patience on this app for social segments. So we're here tonight to have just like our regular conversation, do our regular talking like we always do, just kind of chopping it up, with just having a conversation. It's Friday night and anything can go, right? I think one of the rules for Friday night is just engagement and be respectful, please. I think sometimes the comment gets a little bit hot and everybody like state their opinion and things, which is great and we love to hear, we love to see it, but we also want to be mindful of people and just be respectful of people and all that beautiful thing that is happening right now. But I have a question tonight for my viewers. So if you're in the comments, please answer this question. Please leave a response. It was a question that I asked the other day on my social media, right? I think it was 2 days ago. I asked the question, and my question was, are women keeping other women single? Right? And I'm curious to know tonight, if you're watching this tonight, share the live and jump in the comments and answer my question. I want to know, are women keeping their fellow women single? Because a lot of the time you will see people giving certain advice to their friends, or there'll always be somebody that said, oh, what you take from that man, girl, I could never take it, and all of those stuff. So my question tonight for my viewers, and if you're in the comments, please comment, let me know, do you think women are keeping their friends single? Right? Is women keeping each other single? Like, I know a lot of the time people be like, oh, I'm giving her advice, I wouldn't do that, I wouldn't do that. But do you think all of those advice that someone is giving to their fellow women is keeping them single? Yes or no? I mean, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here if we're being honest, but I'm curious to know, are women keeping their fellow women single? For me, I can say yes and then I can say no. Because I think at the end of the day, it all boils down to that person. And like, you can listen to people, don't get me wrong, you can take advice from people you love and care about, but I don't think they should be defining factors in your life decisions, right? Because the person you want to date is a form of a life decisions, because you might get married to them, you might have kids with them, and you and that person will be together forever. So it's okay to take into consideration what people say when it comes to dating, but I don't think you should make that your final choice. Right? I think a lot of the time we are very trusting of people, and that is not a bad thing. But I think when you trust people too much in allowing them to have so much say and opinion on your life, if you have so much if you have so much trust in people, they can literally have so much. If you give people so much trust and power over your life, they can have control over you. So tonight we want to know, are women keeping one another single? That's my question tonight for the viewers in the comments. What do you think? Are we keeping our fellow women single, or do you think that It's a no. What is your takeaway tonight? Hi Gus, if you're watching, how are you? Welcome to the inner circle. Good to see you. Good having you. My question tonight, do you think women are keeping their fellow women single? Yes or no? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious to know if they are keeping their friends single, in what ways they're keeping their friends single. You guys bear with me for a second. I'm trying to. Okay, there we go. I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to do a little technical work for a second. But my question tonight, if you're watching tonight, please share this video, is do you think women are keeping their fellow women single? Like, is it a deliberate thing, or is it just like, hey, I'm giving this person advice, they're taking it, so now they're acting upon it? Like, what do you think is happening here tonight? I'm waiting for my co-host, Patience, to join, and I will ask her this question because I'm curious to know, are women keeping each other single? Like, are they keeping each other single by the advice they're given? Are they keeping each other single by telling them not to do certain things? Are they keeping each other single by projecting their insecurities or their struggles on the next woman? Right? I'm curious to know. So if you are saying yes, I want you to drop the comments. If you're saying no, I also want you to drop the comments. I'm just curious to know, are women keeping one another single? Right? And the reason why I asked this question a couple of days ago, I was on TikTok. I'm always on TikTok, and there was a lady that recently got engaged. Right? She got engaged, and she said, "Oh, they told me not to make his lunch. They told me." Oh, I'll pause my story. Here's Patience.
Hello, hello, hello. The internet is trying not to get us on tonight,
Oh, let's have a salam,
but there is a lie.
But introduce yourself, co-host.
Hello, everyone. My name is Patience, for those who know already know. And we're here again tonight. We're excited to interact with everybody. Let's get it.
Great, let's dive in. So my question tonight, P, is: are women keeping one another single? Is it like deliberately, or is it like I'm giving an advice and maybe this person's taking it and they're acting upon it? What would you say? What would you say? Are they keeping each other single?
I don't know. For me, I would say no, because we're all grown adults. We should be able to make our own decisions. Like, do what's best for us. So if I give somebody an advice and they know that that's not what they want to do, they shouldn't have to follow it. So I think it's a choice too. They're
Okay,
making a choice to be single.
okay. So you're saying, if I'm hearing correctly, is that you can give an advice, but I'm not telling you to take that advice and apply it,
Right,
right?
right,
Okay. Okay. I mean, that's fair because I think a lot of the time, what I also see is that people project
right.
a lot of like their insecurities on another person. Like you will hear people say, "Oh my, for me, I would never do that for that man," or "I would never do that." And it sounds more like a projection because it's like maybe they did do it in the past and it didn't
And they
produce an
were
outcome. So
right,
now they're like telling this person. So I think in a way, I would say yes and no, in regards to yes, women. So Gus is saying yes. He said absolutely keeping each other single. So Gus, you are saying women are keeping each other single. Can you put in the comments how they're doing that?
how right,
Curious, right? We're curious to know. For me, I would say yes in a way because a lot of women are projecting their insecurities, their things that didn't work out on that next woman. So I mean, it's great to share your experience with something, but I think sometimes too the way some people will explain their experience, it's like you are literally it's like in a way it's like you're part of that, but you're not. And I would say no also because like Patience is saying, like you should have your own wisdom to a discernment to discern, like, okay, I appreciate this person's advice, but that doesn't mean I have to take it, right? I
right,
have to take it and make it my reality. And that's the thing. That's what it is, an advice, right? You can take or you can leave. But I can see what Gus is saying too. So Gus, if you're able to tell us how are women keeping each other single, if you can just give us some pointers in a comment, that'd be great. Like what are some ways you have seen women keeping each other single? For me, the one way I've seen this is projection. Like I've seen a projection. There's a lady on TikTok pictures. I don't know if you've seen it. She got engaged. I guess it's a recent engagement, and
Mm.
she was like, she had a ring on. She was like, oh, they told me not to make his lunch. They told me not to cook his meal. They told me not to do his laundry. They told me not to pay for dates. And then she was, just showing her ring. And
Mm.
the black community on TikTok is in an uproar again, right? Yes, and they were saying, and I've been reading, and they said like, "Oh, you performed for a ring, like you his mom, like all of that." And this, and I'm looking at, I was read like as I go through different,
Yikes.
I'm like, wait, are we keeping each other single, right? Because if you think about that thing, somebody's engagement, right, and they're saying the lady is a slave. They said, "Oh, welcome to being like his slave for the rest of your life. Welcome." It was just a whole thing. Okay, so Gus says single women are giving advice to people in a relationship or a marriage. If if your advice so great, why are you single? Well, maybe it's coming from the place of a lesson learned, Gus. Don't you think? Like sometimes too, I've heard people say, "Ma, don't do what I did because this is where it brought me." Or what do you think about that statement, P?
I mean, first of all, single people should not be giving advice to people that's in a relationship or in marriage. That's there's something wrong. There's something wrong with that. I mean, if a married woman decides to take an advice from a single woman, something is wrong. She don't want to be married. Period.
You think so?
Because yes, this person doesn't have a partner.
Hmm.
They haven't been married for the amount of time that you guys have been married for. They don't know this man that you're talking about. They probably just see him in the street. Oh, what you told them about him. That's what they were going to offer.
Hmm.
So with all of that, if a friend come to you and feed you nonsense for you to leave your husband and she's single, that's a choice that you're making. That means you don't want to be married. Because
Okay.
first of all, why are you taking your business out there to single people in the first place? And secondly, why you're opening the door for somebody to step in and disrespect your marriage?
Okay. Okay. So you're saying if somebody is single,
Hmm.
they shouldn't, they shouldn't really give
They
advice or
shouldn't interfere in the marriage, people. No.
okay. But what if
Yeah.
that marriage person is so you have your good friend or your best friend and your
Hmm.
wife, and then I'm not saying you're bringing your marital problems to that person, but let's say there's something like you're like struggling on from a different perspective. It may not be like they may not understand covenant commitment like in marriage, but it's something
Right.
else that they can understand. Do you think if you're bringing it to them, they can provide advice to that from that lens, or no? What is your
I
take?
mean, if I'm bringing a situation like that, I'm not bringing it for like for you to give me advice for me to take. It's more of let me see other perspective.
Okay,
Like, okay, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. But you're not gonna be like, you know what, he's doing this, he's doing that. It's not worth it, and then I go and pack my bags. No. Girl, before I'm about to be single with no man, and we'll start figuring out how to pay these bills. So we're not doing that. We take a I want to see another perspective of things.
okay,
Then I'll be like, okay, this is what it's supposed to be, but not to just up and take the advice and go running with it. Like I said, we're all adults. We have our own brains. We should be able to process these things by ourselves. Because first of all, like I said earlier, these people are not with this person. You know that's the person you have been with X amount of time. So
mhm,
whatever they see out there, that's what they're going to offer. And if you feed into that, that means you don't want to be in that relationship. So it's all choices. That's how I
okay.
look at it. Yeah.
Everything boils down to a choice.
Yeah.
Okay, but would you agree that single people can still give good relationship advice even though they're single?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I agree too because I think sometimes people learn from their mistake if they're willing to take accountability, right? I think
Right.
accountability is a big factor here. If that person is, even though they're single, got to say if your advice is so great, then why you're single? Gus, you're right, right? But I think from the lens of giving advice, some people after they have been single, they have grown, they have taken that time to do the work, like take ownership of the role, the contribution in that field of relationship. I think they can use take away in a healthy way to give advice. So
Right.
I've seen that, to give advice. I mean, I'm not married or in a commitment, but I'm single. But I have seen people come to me and say, hey, what is your take on yabba, 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 yabba? Right now, I've done my work, I've owned my crap. I'm not going to project what didn't work for me onto someone. Right. I think mostly if I'm giving advice to anybody in that light, is more like, well, this is what I did that didn't work. Don't do that. If you're doing that, don't do that. Substitute it for something different. So I think in a way, like single people do, if they have done the work and took the accountability and the other parts to it, they can provide at least one or two tips again. But like you said, it's all boiled down to that person's choice, right? You don't
Right.
have to take it. You can take it. You don't have to take it. But I think a lot of people struggled with this thing they call willpower. It's I think they
Mm.
feel like, oh, because patient's my best friend, patient give me advice, I must take it. It's like, no, I like that you consider me in that light, but
Right.
I don't think we give a lot of people like so much influence over the things that we say or things that we do, to the point that we do jeopardize our relationship. We do jeopardize our marriage. And you're right. There are some single people when you in marriage, when you confiding in, like it said, like that's your best friend, not really thinking much. Man, I can't take that stuff. Well, I wouldn't even be with that man if he's like,
Right.
I wouldn't
Yep.
be, and that's wrong. That is wrong. So a friend like that, then you definitely don't want to bring nothing to them. Definitely not. Because there are some of them will tell you, don't waste a ton of mine. Because I mean, yeah. And two, there are some of them that are like, I don't know if it'll be like you would say like they're envious, but I don't know if you've seen like there's certain friends like they can't wait to tell you the bad news. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
You can't wait to say, "Ma, I saw your man. He was to
Mm-hmm.
that place.
Yep.
The way you were hugging, like just so rushed." When I'm sure that man probably said, "Oh, baby, I was so this event. I met this girl. She was chopped." He probably even conversing with you, letting you know. But there are some
Right.
women are so itchy to literally share that, because it's like, is it coming from a place of jealousy? It's always thinking about like, okay, so that's a certain advice, like you're saying. You don't just want to take everything.
Right.
And families too. Family
Oh
can
yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. I mean, that's like the worst. That's like the worst people, because at the end of the day, your
not
family is
sure.
your family. They are, because at the end of the day, your family is your family, and his family is his family. No matter how much his family love you, if things were to go left, that's his family.
Right.
That's just where it is. So for me, when it comes to like the whole family, I try to keep them as far away, because whatever it is that we figure out at home, they're still gonna be looking at him sideways. And that's gonna be like a whole nother thing too. So
Right.
like getting family, and people need to learn how to use like therapists and stuff these days, because your secret is safe with that person, and y'all figure it out. And if they ever tell your secret somewhere, you sue them, and that's that. People really need to get to doing that, because they're keeping themselves single. I would say, I won't say other people are keeping them single. They're keeping themselves single, because if you don't take the time to get to work on yourself and know where you need to be, to know the type of advice you take from friends and family,
Hmm.
then that's on you. That's a choice that you're
Okay.
making not to do so. Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying no because everybody have that willpower and choice, right? In
Yep.
regards to
Yeah.
that. And I'm saying yes, there are some ways, and then also no.
No. Right.
You Would you say that in a concept of performing, there's a lot of things when you think about relationship, people, everybody's like, oh, don't do too much for a man, he's not gonna marry you. Then it's like, okay, so like, where do you think when it comes to that piece, like, where do you draw the line? Because there are some women that didn't do the laundry, didn't pack the lunch, didn't do that, and it still got the ring, right?
Right.
And then
Right.
there are some women that did those things and didn't get the ring. So now, like you that are in that space and in this current seasons of your life, like where do you think there's a balance? Is there even a balance?
Well, I mean, like this here, first impression is, it takes a lot, it speaks a lot. Because
Okay.
if you give this person, and this is just how I go into things with my mind. It's like if I'm giving you an impression of this is who I am, I'm gonna cook, clean, and do laundry and do all of these things. That's who I am.
Right.
If
Okay.
I just want to sit back on the couch and kick my feet up and we order the DoorDash, that's who I am.
Hmm.
Because a lot of people are getting into these relationships or situationships with like false impression.
Okay.
Like they're trying so hard to keep the man. So they're doing all these SS things, and once they're finally official or whatever it is, then they're actually back to them old self. So
Okay.
that's where most of the problem comes from is these false impressions. Do not, if you know you're a lazy person, be a lazy person around that man. And that's where the ones that don't cook, clean, and do laundry and stuff like that to get the ring. That's when they started. He knew she was lazy. He knew that they were going to be ordering DoorDash. They were going to be doing takeout and all of those things. And that's the life he chose. He knew that he could be able to handle whatever she can't handle, and she can do the same for him too. So he chose that.
Okay.
And the ones that who start doing all the cooking and cleaning from the jump, those are the ones that once they finally get to that place where they feel like they're comfortable, they stop doing those things. Then the
Hmm.
man be like, this is not what you started. So he started looking for his exit out.
So you saying that people do perform for rings or people, because I think what I'm trying to get understanding is that I think we're in this generation where people are basically like everything seems to be an issue. I think a few weeks ago I released my status like loving your person shouldn't be a crime.
Right.
Like it's so sad that society has put this restriction, this rules, this mandate on how much love you can show a person, how much
Mhm.
affection you can show a person, how much you can do for a person. You know, it's all of these rules. But I think when it comes to the concept of marriage or a person investing in you, right, I don't think there's rules and regulations. Oh, that's another reason they keep each other single is oversharing. You're
They
right.
do overshare. They
That's what I'm
do.
saying. Projecting, Gus. That's kind of what I
Yeah.
was talking about earlier. Like, oversharing leads to projection. Because if you would be talking to that person, oh, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me. So yes, oversharing is another reason they keep each other single in a way. But remember, like Patience said tonight, we all have a choice to make. Like, that person can overshare, they can tell you their trauma. You don't have to take it, you don't have to wear it. It's not your coat suit, it's not your
No.
weave cap. Don't put it on, let it go. You know what I mean? Like a person sharing their story with you. I think where a lot of people misunderstand it in regards to this comment is the fact that in life it's good to be relatable. Right, it's
Right.
good to be
Mhm.
relatable, but that does not mean you're relatable. Me being relatable to you doesn't mean you should take on my story and wear it.
Yep.
Right, we all have our story that we're writing. We all have our own book. There's a book of patience, there's a book of Winn. So I
Right.
can't take patience story and shove it in my book, and she can't take my put it in her book. It doesn't work like that. She can share her story with me, and maybe there's some part of it that we might have similarities, and we can connect from there. Like, wow, that's the same thing. What are you learning differently in this next relationship that you will take?
Right.
That's how we build that piece. But I think sometimes when we overshare, people want to wear our problems as their clothes, and then they enter the relationship. It's like, no, I was sharing it as a sense of relating to you, like validating what you're telling me and what you're enduring, not for you to take and let it be your decision of why you don't want to date men. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So oversharing is not a bad thing, but I think at the end of the day, as adults, like we keep saying on this app, we all have a choice to make. We all have a choice, whether you want to agree or not. That what God give everybody free will.
Right.
God doesn't even consist you must serve me. He let you so well what you please. When it doesn't
Yep.
serve you, then you will know who's who.
Right. You found the right
So
place
if
to
He
go.
giving you
Yep.
free will to decide if you want to serve Him, what made you think somebody or sharing their experience of relationship should be a determining factor of that relationship that you're in, right? So if you don't use your will, then you will remain single. If you use your will or take everything with what American people can say with a grain of salt, I don't know what that means, like bits and pieces, then you can do that. But in regards to what I was saying about the concept of performing, right? I
Mhm.
think there's been a discourse around people talking about people performing for a wedding ring or engagement ring. And I'm just thinking like, but there's no rules in this game, like you're saying.
Right.
You can do the bare minimum. If that man sees wife material in you,
He's
he's
gonna marry you.
you
Yeah.
can do the not bare minimum. You can do the cooking, the cleaning, the black flip, the cartwheels, you name it.
Right.
If he don't see you in that light, he's not gonna
He's
do
not
it.
gonna marry you. Yeah.
It's kind of like, so my brain is like, how are people performing when regardless of what you do, it boils down to this person and what they're
Right.
in a lifetime partner.
Hmm. Yep. And like I always say, to each his own. What may work for me may not work for you. Like everybody have their own path. So just because like you said, just because I tell you my story, that doesn't mean, okay, since it didn't work for patient, I'm not gonna go there and try. Like every self experience is the best teacher. You get to experience it. If it doesn't work for you, if you choose to learn from what I told you and do things differently, you make that choice to do so, but
Right,
get the experience, don't just. And that's why, like I said, it's choices that they're making, because that's what a lot of people are saying. Like, okay, since it didn't work for her, let me sit down here, yeah, before I can go and go get hurt. No, go. Just because it didn't work for her, that doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. You can learn from whatever mistakes. If she owns up to it and tell you, this is what I did, situation didn't go the way it's supposed to go, you can learn from it if you
right,
want to. If not, you go ahead and get your own experience. It just might be your perfect cup of tea.
right,
If you don't try and you miss out on that opportunity, then you're sitting here once again to square zero. So we are making these choices to be single, because these men be they be doing their thing.
right.
Shoot, they be doing their thing. So we're making these choices. I don't think anybody, and I'll keep saying this, I don't think anybody is making those choices for us. It's a choice that we're making by ourselves, because we
Okay,
have the will to go ahead and do what we want to do.
okay.
So if you're gonna take someone's story and sit with it, that's on you.
Because in the concept of the lady I was talking about on TikTok, I was talking about, they told me not to do the wedding. I mean, they told me not to, she was saying like they told me not to make lunch, do his laundry and, everything. And people started saying she's performing, right? Oh, that's a performance for the ring. And then there was like, it's that's what I did first. I laughed and I'm like, I couldn't believe it. And then a lady said, she's like, it's funny that we expect, and kind of coming back to your previous conversations we had about expectations,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's
Mm-hmm.
funny that we have these expectations for a man to do these things, and a lady is reciprocating what he's doing, whether it's just making a sandwich or
Right.
dropping it to him. And she's like, when did it become a crime for us to actually reciprocate what is
Right.
being given to us? And this is where I'm saying, like, this situation got the Black community in the uproar because everybody's creating think pieces. And I'm just like, are we keeping each other single? Right? Because I kid you not, the amount of comments. I mean, people are stitching this woman engagement and this ring on her finger. We ain't talking no $200 ring. This is about like something amount of carats on her finger. I mean, the diamonds is around the ring, and then the rock is rocking. It's actually my dream ring. And then the lady showing it, she's happy. And then I went on her page, looking the way the man set up like the engagement. It wasn't giving no low budget. So it was probably he been, doing as a man, and then she just reciprocated with making his lunch here and there, making sure my man got clean clothes to wear. Like, it just makes me realize, like, when did we become so rigid or restrictive on what we can do for people? But yet, as a community or society, we have a list of expectation that is this long. But a lady doing her man's laundry and cooking and doing all of that became an issue. For me, I don't do laundry, so I would never do a man's laundry. Myself looking for him to do my laundry. So that one is clear, crystal clear. Like, please, sir, do my laundry. But if cooking is a bad, like, when did those little things became an issue? And this is why I asked myself, are we keeping each other single? Because they're telling this lady she was made. They tell her she's a slave. They tell her, oh, Watch, you're gonna do all of these things, he's gonna leave you. Projecting what happened to them.
It's this damn social media though.
I'm
I
telling
mean,
you, be like, when you happy, this other lady said, trust me, it's only a matter of time. You're gonna be on the scene app telling all why you should never cook for a man. Mind you, projected. And then another person said, it's unfortunate that many of y'all did these things for men that didn't see that value as well.
that right,
But that does not mean this is this person's story,
right.
right? It's like, I get it. There are some women that did the 9 yards and a man didn't. But at the end of the day, maybe that wasn't like we talk about, that's not your person. With your person, you can
But
do anything.
n- not to cut you off, but the thing here is, if that's who you are as a person, eventually you're gonna you're gonna fall into that anyways.
Right,
So why torture yourself? Why listen to what people have to say or what social media has to say? Why not be the person you are?
right,
That's what's keeping us from being in a relationship, because we care so much of what other people say. A
right.
lot of
Okay.
people are not who they are because of this damn social media. Social media tells you how to date, how to eat, how to sleep, how to not work. I mean, it tells you everything.
Everything.
And people are just living in social media to the extent that they don't have a mind of their own. Because, shoot, I am who I am, regardless of how I try not to be who I am. I am who I am. Eventually, I'm going to fall back into my old ways and I'm going to be who I am. That's just, why not be who you are and stop letting the whole world to detect or determine the type of person that you are. That's where our problem is coming from. Social media is in the center of every relationship.
Yep, I'll post it on social media. Yeah, it is. I think people look to social media as guidance, and it's
Yep.
like, why is a platform that you should just utilize at the bare minimum to engage with people? I remember when Facebook first came out, the concept, I mean, it still is the same concept of Facebook, was to connect with people.
Connect. Yep.
I remember I was younger, my cousin started finding all her elementary school friend on Facebook, and she was
Yep.
so happy that thing like Facebook was created, that she can connect with these people and see their lives and checking on them and stuff. Not Now, come fast forward to this generation, 2025, people use Facebook as like coaching for relationship, coaching for marriage, coaching for everything in your life. It's like anything you want to know about something or about this world, social media is your outlet. It's like that's why people be like, oh, social media is ruining relationship. We're allowing social media to
Yep.
ruin relationship. Like, we keep everybody have a choice to make. Social media is a social platform where we should come and socialize.
Mm-hmm.
Even if a man, the social media come and tell you, say your man should send you 5 million bouquets a day. You and I both know we're in a let's be real for a second. First of all, you get enough space to for that bouquet there.
Right.
Second of all, you know how to really cater to flowers. Like, people are not being realistic, right? They'll take, I love flower. They tell you, like, bro, they give you farm. Nothing
You
groups
playing
not
fly.
farm. The American flower, where you just put the flower, the little food in a vase, pour water. You're not kidding. When we come on social media, we have this fake world that we define, and you will hear people say, "Oh, the man said if a man doesn't do this, he doesn't do that." It's like we're allowing social media to be therapists in our relationship, and this is why it keeps failing, because the
Right.
choice that you have, you don't apply that mindset when it comes to social media. You apply with other things,
Right.
but not the lens of social media. It's like it's just disheartening to see like the rise of social media and where it have come. Because I know when we was younger, the point of social media, we were just here to socialize. We didn't care who were getting married. Nobody went
Yep.
live to show what kind of shoe patient went to a wedding day. Nobody went on live to show what kind of weave cap patient wore that day. If there were human hair, nobody went on live to critique people outfits. People
Right.
just post a little picture
And
on
going by business. I be seeing on Facebook seeing this little memory. I be like, what the heck?
right, because that's what the internet, social media. Even when you think about the power of MySpace, right? Just thinking about MySpace back then, we made
Yep.
our little profile, put your low top friends, got your little music going back and forth, your little picture going, let it on the log you in type stuff. We didn't go there to anything
No.
further. So it's like social media has been a blessing, but it's a curse. But it all depends on how you're using social media. It has so much power to produce good things, but I feel like we have abused these platforms that it has ruined everything. Social media is just like, okay, even your friendship, right? You will come. I had a girl posted something about like Jada, I don't know, Lil Baby, the rapper, his baby mom. She's like,
Hmm.
oh, you see how she showed up for her friend? But I'm like, are you serious? These are celebrities. They can go on vacation for 2 weeks.
Right.
Top hotel, like they have the luxury and the funds to do that. Your friend that's right here living down the street don't have that luxury. Why are you comparing how much they love you and care for you from this person that are a celebrity and have the funds to do these things, or can buy their friend a car, or maybe drop her 1K for her birthday? Maybe your friend can only drive you $50. That doesn't make them a bad person. But once again, we give social media
Social
so much
media.
power.
Hmm. Yep.
So here's a hypothetical question:
Mm.
Do you think if social media was to be taken away today, like it crashed down? I mean, the Instagram, the TikTok, I mean everything.
Everything.
Right? Do you think there will be more sustainable relationships?
Eh, to an extent, yeah.
To what extent do you think that would be?
um, the people that are truly happy
Okay,
are going to stay together.
okay,
The people that are just doing it for social media are not.
okay,
Yeah. So there's gonna be some ending relationship, and there's gonna be some happy relationship. Because
okay.
there are people who in relationship just for social media. There's a lot
Right.
of people who are
Hmm.
just there just for the social media aspect of it. So it's a 50-50.
Okay, so is social media crashing? Because I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, I will leave social media for a healthy relationship." It's like, what does social media gotta do
Well,
with
the
it?
social right.
Because there are people that have social media that have been married like 25 years,
Right. Yep.
15 years, 10 years. It's like, what does social media have to do with? Why do you have to leave to have a healthy
Healthy
relationship?
relationship. Yeah.
If that's your defining factor of healthy, then you shouldn't be in a relationship to begin with. If you really
and I
ask
and
me.
I also saw something on TikTok about that too. There were some guys that was talking. They were like, "Oh, people who keep their relationship off of social media think they're happier than people who post their relationship on social media." And I'm like, it's 50-50.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's because they do have some people who just enjoy not being on social media. So both of them are, and they have some people who just enjoy being on social media, who just enjoy, just because you're posting pictures, that doesn't mean you're telling your business out there. You guys
Right,
are just hanging out, having a good time, and you post a picture. Your marriage is your marriage, or your relationship is your relationship, whatever it is. And they have some people who just come and put their whole business out there to the
right,
whole world so everybody can know. So I'm like, yeah, it is 50-50. They have some people who are just social media people, and they have some people who are not.
right,
And they have the third party who just decide that the whole world needs to know what's going on in their bedroom. So they're here to share with us. I just wanted to put that out there too with the whole social media. But social media is, it is a big factor on this generation. I don't even know what the next generation gonna be like. Cause if this one is like this, then
I
that's
mean,
what
I
come.
think it will still be social media because I think there's different outlets that is being created. I'm sure there'll be a new app when TikTok is getting expired. There might be something else that will come about to support or stand as reference. I think as adults, as we think about like whether we're keeping each other single or not, we also got to think about the use of social media because what I also notice is that a lot of women um like they would say, "Oh, I'm not doing these things," but when you look at how I got to know most women are liars. I'm gonna say this today: most women are liars, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
say
about to make the men shoot us in our group chat.
the reason I'm saying most women are liars when it comes to certain things, P, is that I do spend a couple times on TikTok because I'm like always trying to, like I be listening to some think pieces. Some make sense, some is very dumb, but I be listening. And what I noticed, women would tell another woman, like we're saying here tonight, "Oh, you're a pick me, um, you gonna be his slave." All of these things this lady was doing, saying she was slave and stuff like that. And as I click on a lot of these people profile, I mean, some of them were private, some of them was like, mm, okay, mm, like, But what I gathered, and then also like there's a couple like it's called jail TikTok where people are in jail looking for partners. I kid
Mm.
you not. The amount of women that would be in these jail men comment, especially when they're fine and light skin, they would be saying, "Oh, what's your bail money?"
Oh shoot.
I'm telling you, literally. But these are the same women that will tell another person
Right.
you performing for a ring. So it's kind of like in a way I can see where Gus is saying yes, they keep each other single because you're in this comment of a man in jail and you're asking what's his bail money, right?
I'm
Maybe
dead.
you may not deliberately bail him out, but the fact that you're even throwing that you type that out, it gives desperate, right? And then a lady or a woman of your color, your gender, is proud of her,
Celebrating, right?
and we're
Celebrating her
yeah,
love, her life.
and we're telling her in the comments she's gonna be his slave, she's gonna be this, she's gonna be that, So it's kind of like, are we telling the truth? Are we really, or is it that because I did all of these things, I didn't get that ring, so trust
Mm,
me, my
that's what it is.
that's their projection. So a lot
Yeah.
of people projects their insecurities. But so my question then is, how would you know somebody is projecting on you? Is there what if somebody come and say something? What do you think? Like, what are some signs you could say? This sounds like a projection. What would you?
If I were you, oh, I can't stand that word.
Or if I were you? Okay,
Hmm.
okay.
I wouldn't do this. If I were you, I wouldn't be doing that. I cannot.
Okay.
That's just that's the biggest sign of projection right there. You're
Okay.
first of all, you're not me. So that's why you're not doing what I'm doing.
Okay.
So yeah, that's for me, I'll say that's the number one sign. If I were you.
When a person used that word, if I were you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's true. I think that is a big giveaway, but I don't think a lot of people pick that up,
Mm,
right? Because you're right. You're not me, I'm not you. We're different people. God made us different. Even though we have the same mom, same dad, we're still different people.
right.
Okay, that is a pickup sign right there. Like, if I were you, for me, I think if you're explaining something to someone and you read their facial expressions and their body language, for me, I can pick up. It's like,
Mm,
that's projection. you know. It's like,
mm,
well, when that thing happened to me, man, the way I handle it,
yeah.
it's kind of like it's kind of like that, And it's like there, but projection is really keeping women single. I think I agree with the men on this one. Women are keeping each other single because you're projecting what didn't work for you. And women are allowing them to be single because they're agreeing to what somebody else is saying. Do you see a lot of this in our community too? I mean, we are Liberians, we are Africans. Would you say a lot of them are keeping each other single, or they're? You think so?
A lot of them are choosing or allowing someone else to keep them single.
But our people are not single in the community though.
Well,
A lot of them.
they they have some single ones.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And most of the relationship that ends too, it mostly comes from, oh, this person said, that person said, that person said, that person said. So that's how the single ones are ending, the ones that's in a relationship.
So he said, she said
He says, yeah,
are contributing factors of ending relationship in
relationships.
our
Yep.
community, but not
Hmm.
social media.
I mean, social media too. Everybody wants to be the social media couple these days. I mean,
Okay.
shoot. Yeah.
Okay.
Knowing very well you're going through it, but you still want to pull up for your social media in-laws, your social media.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think our people are being kept single. And the reason why I'm saying that is that in the community that we live in, I think we see a lot of people, they'll take, because a person will come on this app and say, oh, the person can be woman. And the girl takes it, man, what me together, you don't do that to me.
That's true.
Right. So, yeah, some in a way, they're willing to date regardless of what kind of abuse that person did,
Right. Yeah, that's true.
for the need to be with somebody. And then we all know our Pharaoh, as long he's coming home to
I'm coming
me.
home.
Like, so in a way,
At the end of the day, as long as he come home, he can do whatever
right? Well, I'm not
he
leaving
want.
my man till Jesus Christ see or whatever it is. So in a way, I don't think our community of women are keeping each other single. I think they're enabling the
Yeah.
behaviors. Um, that might
Mm.
be my take, but I think in other communities they are keeping the women single. But our women in the Liberian community, I think a lot of they're encouraging them to stay because they will tell you, say, "Ma, no man perfect.
Oh yeah,
It's better
that
to be
for
with the devil
sure.
you know than the angel you know nothing
Enjoy, you
else."
don't
Well,
know. Hmm.
so those are ways that keeping you bound. They don't keep you single. They keep you committed but suffering. So I think that's where we're at with a lot of those piece of it. A lot of people they're not keeping you single, they're keeping you bound, they're keeping you stuck. I think that's what I'm seeing with
Yeah, I can see that, especially in the Liberian community. Yep.
right. Because it's more like, no, we needed me yesterday. Nobody will be there. Oh. Some of the thing that we not into man. You're not
Mm-hmm.
you just starting man.
Can you imagine
That,
somebody,
that's teaching them
somebody telling you your pin just started?
instead of you being able
Your
to
pin
tell
just
yourself,
started, so you
man,
get
I
him in a
suffer. I don't
pocket.
want you to suffer to yourself on them. No.
Right.
So I think our women in the community, they give you advice to stay, not to be single.
And I just,
I think
that's
what I've
true.
seen with that, single is more like the black community, from what I've seen. But I think the African community, majority, not all of them, but majority of them give you advice to
To
remain,
stay,
to
yeah,
stay and committed. Because we all want to be going through the suffering
together.
line. We all want to be on the soldier list. So we're
Yeah,
most
that's
definitely encourage somebody to say, man, don't go anywhere. Oh, the men out there, now, even
true.
West.
Just sit down there, just manage, you know.
When you leave this one, you don't even know the other one you get. And then they will explain the other one they never met before. How you that one person saying you want to slap your elbow and you can't buy like bro. The way at least he can shove you in the wall, man. And you come by, you go to work the next
Can
day,
you imagine?
like they advise you to be committed in
Come
abuse.
in the abuse.
And they don't
Mm.
advise you to say, girl, you see how they make it slap me while going to work and be crying, man.
You better packet things and move from there. You better packet.
Sure, mama say I won't move for that, but I don't even know how. Then at least then you help that person. But I think a lot of our people we encourage a lot of things. So I think we're more committed. Well, we shouldn't be, but it's simply
Right.
because of the advice. But I do agree that some women are keeping each other single. But I think if you're sitting there, somebody letting you be, you're allowing yourself to be single, because somebody's opinion, you're a fool.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I mean, sure. Yeah, like you said, allowing somebody to keep you single. And you're a fool.
Not here.
I
Not
mean,
nobody on the line tonight, but I think we just want to be clear cut. I think as adults, we're all adults. We're smart individuals. We smart in a way like we can go to work, we pay our bills, we know how to put things in order. Somebody's story is not your story.
Right,
It's not
right,
a reality. If you don't take nothing from me and patience tonight, you have a choice. Somebody's story is not your reality. I'm just sharing my story to relate to you. I'm
right,
not saying take it, I'm not saying wear, I'm not saying sew on your weave cap, I'm not saying wear as hat, wear as bra. I'm simply letting you know, like, this is what I endured. So please don't follow my false step so you don't endure it. If you meet a man, ladies, it's okay, like Patience said. If you're a person that like to cook and you want to do that, do it. Truth be told, there's no rules in this man marrying you game. There's no rules.
nope. If he wants to, he will. If he
Girl,
don't, he won't. It's as simple as it is.
I don't care what type of performing you can do. All like people can say in the style in the room. If the man say not it, it's not it. He can either stop
No.
with that. But if it's not it, it's not it. And then there's a woman that can do day by day and they marry her tomorrow morning. It doesn't deteriorate nothing. I think we need to release this narrative that there are certain requirements we have to fill. The same with a man. A man don't have to pay all your bills so you don't want to date him.
Right.
There's like Patience says it in the group. Character will let you know if this is an investment or not.
Yep. No, not. Yep.
Character not about cash app. That's not it. Yeah. No, because people be thinking like, oh, if you're not paying my bills, oh,
Right.
you're a man, I can help pay my bills. Like we always talk about, like, who was paying all your bills before they make say
Before
hello?
making me a life right.
Who was paying your bills? Yourself. Like my sister and next week, the first, I'll be putting my own bill on the map, right? So exactly. Do I want to know? But I have to do what I gotta do. So it's kind of like that. We can't be saying the man will do this thing and then to make a lunch we're huffing. We're saying, oh, that's a performative thing.
Right. You're
Is
being a slave.
he showing you by cash apping that he's a provider, like we talk about them being? So
Right.
it's kind of like, okay, we created discourse on what men should be. So now that we're older and getting wiser, I'm seeing a lot of women do have problems. I'm saying it to them.
Hey, girl. Hey, girl. You're about to get us in trouble.
That's what I'm talking about my own. They do have problems. They really do.
Oh, we have problems, honestly. Yeah.
We do have problems. We do keep each other single. We keep each other stuck. We don't uplift each other. Like my sister
No.
said, she said, women are women versus women is the biggest enemy,
It's a bit, yeah, it is.
and that is sad.
Yeah.
They would guys say the men can support. I'm not supporting my home girl. You say I'm not support patient because patient ain't let my picture there. I'm not supporting when this. I mean, your support don't make a difference, but it'll be nice.
Right.
You see your homegirl winning. Hey, let me share her page. Let me share.
That no, that's the problem right there. That is the problem.
And I
That's it.
think the
We
next
don't like to see each other win. That's
that's
it.
the problem we got to talk about next week. I mean, I know you'll be gone, but I'm gonna ask
I'll
why.
be here next week. I'll be
Is,
going week after next.
oh, okay, so we can do that like
Uh,
the 31st, the Halloween special. Why is it hard
Yeah.
for women to support one another? This
Yeah.
is a sincere question. Like, why is it like a big issue for women to be like, oh, patient is winning. Let me hold up this sign for her. I don't have to know her personally. I don't have to,
Mm-mm.
just the fact that another, for me, I'm a woman. I love to see women winning, because you don't know what type of failure they went through beyond close.
Right, to get to where they are. Yeah.
Yes, I'm always curious to know like the success story, how they got there. But some people in it just like it boils them, and I'm curious to know. And I think next week I would look for another person to bring on with us. Like, why is it so hard for women to
To celebrate each
celebrate
other.
one another or even
Yeah.
uplift? Like why because a lot of
It's just that the jealous spirit.
okay,
Honestly, that's what it is. Jealousy. Just because you're not happy, that doesn't mean the next person can be happy. I
okay,
mean,
so
and
it will
everybody has a time in life too. Today
right.
might be this person's time. Tomorrow might be yours. The next. That's just how life works. Just because this person is enjoying life at this moment,
Mhm.
That does not mean that you should be jealous of that. It's not your time yet. Just about like the whole it's funny. I think it was like a couple of weeks ago somebody had come on like, oh, people are wondering if you're really happy or you're faking for social media. I'm like, have I ever been the type of person to fake for social,
Ooh,
social
oh my
media?
God. Not
I'm
people
like,
are.
well,
Did you ask that person what they said when the people asked them?
I didn't even care about my time. I'm faking for social. It's all for the books. Whatever that helps them sleep at night.
Who had that much time in their general?
At the end of the day, it's what makes you happy because, and it comes down to this: if people can talk about a baby that was born today, they're going to talk about you. So do you live your life, whatever makes you happy.
Not really. You faking it. Wow. Like what
Yeah,
in this old age of
in
mine
this old age, in this my
where I
very
have
old
my
age, I had
kids
to,
are growing. What
I
what
had time to take
mindset
out my
do
day. I was like, yeah, I'm like, I'm wilding. At least they're watching my page, so that's good.
oh
That one thing they call monetary spirit. But yeah, do what makes you happy, and the fact that we are just not happy for each other. Like I don't see anything wrong with cheering one another up when needed and supporting each other as women. Because I mean, we have a lot going on. Most of our moms, we have work to do. We're busy mentally. We're exhausted.
hmm
So if we get small win, let everybody come together and celebrate that person. That's how it's
right,
supposed to be.
right,
Because we know the struggle. We
right.
know what it takes to get to that win. So yeah, it's crazy.
It
Yeah.
is interesting. I want us to talk about this next week for sure. I'm gonna see if I could bring somebody else on to talk with us because I'm
Okay.
curious to know the women, and we'll start our regular 8 o'clock to have our people in to come so we
Okay.
can really ask like why is it that women don't celebrate one another? And you're right, there is like a level of jealousy heavy, and there's a level of projection. I will come
Yep.
back to that word again. you
Yep.
know a lot of women is like, how dare you
Right.
do this thing
When
that I
I
want
couldn't do
to
it.
do
Yep.
or I
Yeah.
couldn't do. Like I remember
Yep.
one girl on Snapchat one time, she said, "Oh, some of y'all be bragging about your accomplishment. Like it's so y'all don't need to be boasting." And then I'm like, "Do you know what it takes to go to school in this America?"
Right.
And then somebody posted, "I go to school. I got kids and went to school. Do you know?" I
Yep.
went to school, I didn't have kids, and there was a lot. Driving, the homework, the financial aid. Sometimes you don't even have it. You gotta take off day off. My grad school program had to move back home because there was a program. We couldn't work. We were only bound to strictly, and then my clinical hours, it was do you know what 3 years of my life
Right.
consist of? And you ask me why I talk about my masters every chance that I get. It's cost me 50 grand. Do you know that I'm paying it back? So it's kind of like people's success should never intimidate you.
It's right. Yep.
Like, why are you triggered?
A lot of people are triggered. A lot of women. I think for men don't really pay much attention to that.
No, they do, because I heard men said may not care about your degrees, and he don't. We get it as a character, which I mean, I can see what you're
No,
saying.
I mean talking about like from a man to a man.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, yeah, from a man to a man. But for us women, it's well, she's doing too much. Why is she like
When you walk and go to school, go there now.
right?
Go there.
Like I'm curious to know what's up with that because
No, I
shoot,
think that would be a nice conversation next week, ladies.
um,
Why is it so hard for what? I'm gonna post that question midweek,
yeah,
and I will save some of the responses from because some people my Facebook actually got sense they can talk. I will actually post on Snapchat too and screenshot some of the thing and bring it up because I'm curious to know why is it so hard for women to celebrate,
celebrate each other. Yeah,
uplift one another. What is the barrier there? The why? Are you jealous? You don't have the resources? Do you need resources? Like why is somebody winning so? intimidating for
I
you.
mean, if you need resources, you can ask too. That's
That's
the
what I'm saying.
thing.
Like closed mouth don't get fed. Like,
Right.
but why is it that? Or is it like your inner child is it struggling? Is it
Yep.
struggling? Is that why you don't have help? But next week, I really want us to have this conversation tonight. We're at 1 hour mark. We want to thank you guys tonight for joining Social Segment Win and P. Thank you guys. We just wanted to know who's keeping who's single. Women, you're keeping each other single by your advice you're giving. And you that are taking it and sitting down and waiting like Kosu, you're the
Give me
problem.
a single.
So
Yep.
tonight, please know you have a choice and use your choice. That's my closing statement. Piggy, what you got?
Well, it was nice coming out here again. Once again, you have a choice. Make use of that choice. You have the right to say yes and say no. And America is a free country. They say we're supposed to have freedom of speech too. So no, but honestly, we need to start making those choices for ourselves. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's path is different. So choose what's best for you. Because at the end of the day, if you don't make yourself happy, nobody will.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, guys, next week we're back here at 8 o'clock. Today we had to do a little time switch, but next week, Friday, we're here at 8 o'clock. And the conversation is why don't women celebrate one
Each
another
other.
or want to
Mhm.
uplift one another? That is next week question. If you go back and watch it tonight, just remember that question. If you have some comments, email us or message us and we will save it. And we would love to share a lot of feedbacks on here tonight. I'm gonna ask my people, and I'm gonna bring everything next week because I need somebody to give me an answer.
Post
But
the question. I will share it too. I need some answers too.
share it and let's bring what people say. I'm curious to know. I really want to hear some feedbacks. I want to hear some intellectual responses in which we can just read them and see if people agree or disagree.
Okay.
Y'all have a good night.
All
We'll
right.
see
Good
y'all.
night.
Bye.